LBCA annual member meeting and dinner. And thank you all for coming tonight. It's always hard to get people off the lake on a beautiful day, so I really appreciate you taking your time to do this. I hope we've got a really good presentation for you tonight, and we're going to try to move fast. We've always gotten a complaint after these meetings that they went too long, and so we're going to see if we can expedite that tonight, and we'll see how this goes. So first of all, I'd like to welcome our distinguished guests from the Georgia Power Company, Jeff Jackson and Johnny Cannon. Where are y'all? From the Georgia DNR, we have Sergeant Jason Robertson and Corporal Jonathan Seegers. Y'all are in the back. Y'all probably been riding around the lake all day and tired of sitting, but if you want to, we have seats for you right up here. Thank you for coming. Also, Tanya, I call her Tanya B because I can't pronounce her last name, but she's not here. But Laurie Jordan, where are you, Laurie? There you go. Thank you, Laurie, for showing up tonight. And Tammy C. Nowak. Is Tammy here? There you are. Please stand up, Tammy. Tammy is our new social media specialist, and she's taking over. In the past 2 years, we've had interns doing our social media, and we decided we need to take it up a notch, so we hired a professional. So Tammy, thank you for coming tonight. Next up, we have incoming board members. So we have Bobby Lanier for Shoreline Protection. You're going to hear more about what Bobby's been doing when we talk about Billy Goat Island tonight. We have Janine Marlowe. She rolled off last year, but I didn't announce that she rolled off because this is country theme, right? So it was like that song about what kind of gong are you talking about, and are you going for good, going for long? Anyway, she actually left. But she's coming back for the foundation, so we appreciate that. Bob Noor. Bob is going to be government liaison. Bob is taking over for Matt Mitchum. Matt did a great job for us, especially going through everything with the development over there at Bridge Creek and Murray Cove Road, and he guided us through that successfully, so thank you so much. Next, Matt McKibben with Burton Park. Matt is new in this area, been here a couple of years. Matt, please stand up. So Matt is replacing Andrew Harris. So Andrew is rolling off the board. Now Andrew has been worked very hard for LBCA and the foundation, taking on Burton Park. He was also the government liaison, and he helped with HB 121 because he was a lobbyist. Also with the boat parade. And we don't have someone to fill his position yet for the wooden boat parade, but that is one of the positions that we are looking to fill it. Next, I'd like to ask Jeff Jackson to come up here from Georgia Power and speak to us about what is going on with the power upgrade that they are doing, and Jeff has a presentation. So please give him a warm welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. Thank you for the invitation to come tonight. Modernization is taking place up here in North Georgia. Georgia Power started about 6 years ago modernizing our system up here. You got to remember, all this stuff's 100 years old plus. So that brings us to the Burton modification, right? The modernization there. Let's see, Burton Dam. We started with a guy named J.E. Harvey, who actually purchased the property for Lake Burton, and it took him about 2 years to get everything that we needed for the lake to be built. And in 1917, Burton Dam was started. So if you think about a concrete gravity dam, let's say 1,200 feet across, about 128 feet high, we built that in 2.5 years. Which was a feat back in those days. And Burton was actually built as a storage reservoir, and it was built for the Mathis project and for the Tallulah Falls project for water storage, right? So that we could generate more, that we had more water to utilize. But then they decided that we could actually put generation on it, and as we were letting this water out, we could actually generate with it. So 2 units were added, and those units were complete in 1927. So you think about it, all of this stuff, let's see here. These are our gates, right? We got 8 spillway gates. We will be starting in 2 years. We're going to be replacing those gates with Obermeyer gates. They will be more efficient. They'll be air bladder, hydraulic driven, to where we can have somebody press a button to be able to raise and lower these gates. So it's going to build efficiency into our business. We won't, during flood conditions and things like that, we'll be able to adjust those flows as we'll need to. Let me back up one slide. You'll see the powerhouse there. As I said before, it was added in 1927 and completed. In that facility today, we are actually removing those old units and putting new units in. So currently there's no generation available for Lake Burton, and we are sending water over the spillway. So that water that you see there today is what is coming in on the Tallulah River, because we have to pass inflows so that folks downstream can have water as well, right? I think sometimes the folks on Lake C don't like the amount of water we send them, right? So today it's just a small amount. And as you'll see here in the, I guess in the far left corner here, you'll see these 2 concrete sections that go down. Those are actually where the water comes through the dam and goes down to our turbines. So those are concrete penstocks. They actually have a steel penstock inside that encapsulated concrete structure. Here's another shot of the gates. And that work will start in a couple of years, like as I mentioned. Here's a close-up shot of what those gates actually do. It's a cable-driven system. You actually had to have somebody standing on the top deck up there actually running motors to raise and lower those gates. And it's not an exact science. So every 2 days, somebody's going up there to adjust, to make sure that we're releasing the right amount of water. All right, so since we have gates open, right? So we have buoys that are out front that have been there for years. They say danger dam, and we try to keep people out of those areas, right? So if you're out on the water, please don't go inside the buoys, just because if you have a motor issue, you could go over, as we did have a fisherman go over about 15 years ago. A lot of y'all remember that. Burton is the 4th dam that we're working on right now. So those units, your units will be back by next year, and then the gates we'll start that work there, and then we'll move down to Lake Yona and start doing the work down there. But Lake Seed has probably had the biggest impact through all this modernization, because we actually took some of our transmission lines and put them underground as well as a part of the modernization efforts. You got to remember, you think about the electricity that we use up here and how much bigger the houses are getting. So we needed more load, we needed more reliability, and then it will actually be able to protect us with growth. So in the future, if there's more growth in this area, that will all be available to our customers, right? So our goal is to make sure that we build reliability into this system as we replace all of these parts of the infrastructure that we have up here. So anyway, we're still there at number 4 Sea Lake Road. We have a fence around it since COVID. Our phone number is here. If you need us, if you need Johnny, if you have a question about your lease, if you have a question about permitting, if you have a question about Lake Burton, just give our office a call. We have a phone tree. You can get anyone you need, and they also have their titles on there as well. Or you can reach directly out to Johnny with his email address there. But anyway, just appreciate what y'all do. Y'all's organization does great things. I'm enjoying working with Dan on several projects that you'll hear more about tonight. And we just appreciate what the association does in and around the Raven County community. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jeff. And now Jason Robertson from the Georgia DNR has come in to speak to us. Jason is replacing Cody Jones, who was over the lake for the last couple of years. This is your 25th year, I believe, Jason. And most of his time has been spent on Lake Lanier. And he told us at the water safety meeting on May 31st, this is like a picnic compared to Lake Lanier. And Jason has a lot of accolades to his name. I think it was 2014, he was the Georgia DNR Law Enforcement Agent of the Year. And in 2015, he was the National Boating Officer of the Year. He did so good, they took him off the field and put him into management. So I'm going to let Jason say a few words.
Thank you, Dad. I don't really have a lot for you tonight other than to thank you. Like Dan said, I come from Lake Lanier, work a little bit on Lake Altoona, and I'm not used to going one day on the lake without responding to a major boating incident or a drowning or missing child or something like that. So to come up here and see how important safety is to each and every one of you, I just want to thank you for that, because I'm seeing, though I still see violations out here, there's still stuff going on, obviously, or we wouldn't have a job, right? But there's obviously things going on, but each and every one of you, when I'm alongside your vessel, y'all take the safety aspect of what we do seriously, and I appreciate that. That doesn't mean there's not room for improvement, but you know, y'all should all be commended on how you responsibly boat and how you act out there on the lake. So I just want to say I appreciate it. So the question, in case y'all couldn't hear it in the back, I'm sure you couldn't, he wanted to know about the 200-foot law and how much emphasis we put on enforcing that. The short answer is we're looking for it every time we're on patrol. The problem is you can't sit stationary in one spot for very long unless you have a complaint to be in that area. We try to stay mobile. We try to, work the entire lake instead of one specific area. But obviously when we do see the 200-foot law, we are going to address it. If you have a problem spot that you would like for us to spend more attention on, let me know. Reach out, send me an email, let me know where the issues that you keep seeing are, and we'll be glad to put more effort in that area. We have received very few boating complaints from the public this year. I mean, I'm sure some go through your local channels, but we're not getting them. So if you have issues and problem spots you'd like for us to work, by all means, shoot us an email, give us a call, whatever. We'll be glad to put more of a response in that area. I don't mind the emails that are asking for assistance and asking for help. Actually, I don't mind any of the emails because I need feedback on how we're doing, how, pleased or displeased you are with us. We're all here to work together, so shoot them to me. No, not at all. I'm just the supervisor out here. We have 7 guys and myself that are assigned out here we split between, our work section splits between Lake Raven, Burton, Seed, and we've got the north end of Lake Hartwell. So that's the problem. You're not going to see more than one boat out here on any given weekend, more than likely. So we're patrolling the entire area each weekend with one vessel because we have one boat per lake, and realistically, we're never able to man all of them, with off days and stuff like that. So we'll spend a little time on each lake or going to where the hot spots are. The question there was in a true emergency, what's the best way to get in contact? I would say, yes, call 911, they'll dispatch us out, because if you tried to call me or one of my other guys directly, we may be off that weekend, so just call 911, they'll get us out.
Jason, thank you so much, and thank you for what you're doing out in the community. Next, Tracy Berry is our treasurer, and I will speak. We're going to do this a little bit different tonight. Instead of bringing everybody up and all the time and downtime in between, I'm just going to keep talking. And so we're going to get through this as quick as we can. We're going to see how this works. And I know we're going to hear from you when we do a survey. So we're going to figure that one out. So here we go. Tracy is our treasurer. She does a fantastic job. And LBCA financials. This is a high top-level view. We've got total current assets, $417,000, $219,061. Total current liabilities, $200. And so total equity, $417,091.61. All right? You like that? Now, we actually have about 30 categories that all of this comes from. Raise your hand if you want me to go through all those line by line. Oh, you do? Okay. Well, guess what? For you, I want you to send an email to Tracy Berry, treasurer at lbca.net. LBCA Foundation financials. Yes, $917,455, and assets liabilities $263,455 for a total equity of $654. Now, those are good numbers. The total current liabilities we have mostly are in scholarships, because when we do 4-year scholarships, 2-year scholarships, we have to put the money aside. It's restricted and we can't touch it. So here again, do you want more information? Contact Tracy. All right, next, let's talk about LBCA. And I wanted to give you a high-level overview of everything that we're trying to do, because I think you get it in little bits and pieces and don't get the whole picture. We need to look at this as a whole picture. And I think when you see the depth and the breadth of the organization, I hope it's going to be eye-opening, because a couple years ago, I was talking to somebody about renewing, and they said, what do I get from LBCA other than a dinner and directory? And I said, well, how long you got? But they really didn't want to hear the answer. And I don't know if you want to hear the answer, but we're going to go through it anyways. So I've got a captive audience. Y'all go ahead and lock the doors. Don't let anybody out. Here we go. LBCA's founding mission. LBCA was founded in 1969. Some people will say it was the Tallulah River Association. However, the Georgia Secretary of State says it was 1969. We were formed to support volunteer fire departments to reduce the insurance for homeowners. It has changed since then. It has grown. And so 95, 96, insurance rates started creeping up. And Elizabeth Coach was president at that time. They came in and installed dry hydrants and standpipes. And that helped to have a quicker response time, put more water on the fire, didn't have to go as far to do it. So we talk about standpipes and dry hydrants, and nobody really knows the difference. So I'm just gonna call them hydrants from now on. Mostly is what we have is dry hydrants. And so you have a pipe that goes down into the water, and the fire truck or a tanker can pull up to it, and they could pull water into the tank of the fire engine to go fight the fire. The difference between that and the standpipe is the standpipe actually is going to come out above the water line, and it needs the fireboat to pull along, hook up to it, and push the water up into the tank of the fire engine to fight the fire. So that's the difference. So installed the hydrants, and we have found out recently that some of those are in disrepair. And so Jeff Finchard, where are you, Jeff? You're going to hear his name a lot tonight, okay? So Jeff is working with Rabun County, with Chief Reed, to come up with a plan to repair the inoperable hydrants, and also to have a program to where we're actually going out and testing them on a regular basis, and we know when they need repair done on them. Also, we got a map from the GIS department in Rabun County of all of the hydrants in this area. It's about 33 of them. And talking to the fire chief, he said, that's good, but some of them aren't there. So you pull up to that point, they give you not there. It may be 50, 60 feet away. That slows us down. And so here again, Jeff Fincher is going to be going out with survey rovers, and he's going to be getting that location down to within, 6 inches, something like that. Also, since we've been able to fund the volunteer fire departments through the foundation, and we used to do it through dues with LBCA, we no longer do that. Now, we kind of put everything through a funnel when something comes into us. And we say, okay, water quality, water safety, preservation, community building. That's where we put a lot of our time and do a lot of our volunteering work. And so let's go through what we're doing with that. First of all, water quality. Yolanda Adrian, she is a dynamo, and she has done great things with this. And we've got E. coli testing, we do water testing on the lake. She has about 17 volunteers. They cover about 8 different areas of the lake, and where mainly the inflows from the lake is what they're looking at. She runs cleanup day, and we got Laurie Jordan and Tanya Beeler here for that also, with the Savannah Riverkeeper, and she works in Savannah Riverkeeper. We partnered with them, and so she's got a very busy job. She used to do both water quality and water safety, but it was too big for 2 of those jobs with one person. So we split them in half. Now, if you go to the website and you go to the About, come down to water quality, there's a couple of things you can find. A lot of people are interested in aquatic plant information. And when you go on there, you can come down, you can look at all of these, especially if you have something, click on it, and it'll take you right to it. It'll give you information on that particular plant that you see. And if you've got something that you think is a problem, please contact Yolanda Adrian. Next up, water safety, Lee Penland. Lee is another guy. You're going to hear his name a lot. And there's a reason I'm telling you this, because we've got volunteers that are doing multiple jobs. He's done so many things. He's working with water safety, and we had the second annual DNR water safety meeting. Of course, Jason Robertson spoke at that, did a great job with it. We've got a video out. We had over 250 views on it so far. I think that's pretty good. It's only been out for a little bit over a month. Also, we're posting tips on Facebook, and that's where Tammy Nowak comes in, because she's our social media specialist. So about every weekend, we're trying to put safety messages out there, because most of the people in this room know what's right and what's wrong. They know what to do, what not to do. And we're trying to reach the masses. We're trying to reach people that are on the lake, regardless if they're LBCA or not. We want a safe environment when we're out on the lake. Also, the boating safety card. We produced this in 2023, I believe. Yeah, 24 actually. And we said, on the front of it, we said, hey, here's the top 4 reasons that you're gonna get pulled over. And it's almost like if you played sports and you're playing against a team and you're wondering what play they're gonna run against you or what they're looking for, what's your weakness? Well, this is DNR's playbook, right? That's what we're saying. If you can take these 4 things and make sure you don't violate them, that's gonna greatly reduce your chance of even being pulled over. And we don't want you to be pulled over, but what we do want is for you to know the laws, the rules, the regulations, and to adhere by them. In 2025 is in the back of the printed directory. And next thing is, we've got some videos on the website. So if you come down to the water safety tab, go over to water safety. You got boating regulations, HB 121, water safety videos.
So we have a law that's called Rules of the Road, and basically it's picture as you're driving down the lake, it's going to be a lot like driving down a highway. Okay, everybody staying on the right hand side of the center of the channel, center of the waterway right there. You're staying on the right hand side just like you are on a highway, and everybody coming towards you, they're staying on their right, so nobody hits each other. Obviously, if you're trying to get to a cove, make sure it's clear. You drive through there, no problems. The problem that we encounter a lot that we have to deal with is when someone is going on the left-hand side of the waterway. So if I'm driving down the lake, I'm on the left-hand side of the waterway, everybody else is probably coming right at me, which creates a safety issue. That's why we have them on the right-hand side. But how far can you drive on anywhere on this lake before you go around a cove or a black point or a dock where someone in a jet ski is driving 70 miles an hour coming out of that cove, and they're turning direction they need to be, and I'm in their way.
When you come out of a cove, we expect people to make turns and not cut corners to be able to allow for people who are traveling the opposite direction to be able to get in there safely and follow their rules of the road. So if you're coming out of a cove and you cut left or right to cut off a point and you're meeting someone, you're in violation.
So Turner Cravens, that's Kathy and Jeff Craven's son. He's going to be working with us, creating more safety videos that we can turn over to Tammy Nowak. that she can put on Facebook, try to educate the public about how to be safe on the lake. Next, preservation. Bobby Lanier, he's new on the board. Bobby told Elizabeth Gill a year or two ago, I want to get involved in LBCA, so I gave Bobby a call. Bobby was a CIO with a lot of high-tech companies, and I was trying to get rid of the technology job that I've got. And so I was like, Bobby, come on and take on technology. He goes, I don't want to do that. And I said, okay, so what are you passionate about? He said, Billy Goat Island. He said, it's eroding, and I'd like to be able to be part of it to protect it. And I said, okay, let's run with it. And so Bobby and I have been working together. We've done a lot of research, talked to Lake Lanier Association. They've done a lot of the same type of work. And of course, when we got a estimate, it was 3 times higher than what they had over on Lake Lanier. Surprise, surprise. I mean, y'all never run into that before, have you? Okay, so we're still working on that because now we've had to go back to the drawing board. Well, I can't tell you how many hours of meetings we've had. Georgia Power is working with us. They said, hey, we'll partner with you. We're going to work on all of the regulations. We're going to work on all of the permitting, which is a huge expense if you have to pay a private company to do that. And it's what Jeff didn't say was that the lake's only going to go down maybe a foot or 2 this year because of the power generation and the turbines and everything else. So we will probably not be able to get the project started in November like we had planned for. But it's going to be an expensive project, and you saw we've got excess money for LBCA in the foundation. Well, that's where some of that money is going to go. And of course, we're going to have some fundraisers to be able to fund this project. If you look at Billy Goat Island, this is a picture. This is 4 to 5 feet of surface area that's just been eaten away and fallen into the lake. And it's also the trees. We have more and more trees coming down just because the water is washing underneath the roots of it, and they're falling in the water. And so that is the plan that we are trying to move forward on, and we will. It just takes time to get it right. Dark skies. Yes, I heard a yes on that. We did a survey. This is one of the questions. Would you support it? And 65% said yes. If you go out on the lake at night, you're navigating around. It used to be you look up at the sky, you see the tree line, you know where to stay, and it's easy to make your turns and stay in the waterway. It's becoming more and more difficult to do that. Jeff Jackson and I were talking before the meeting started tonight, and actually, not supposed to be any floodlights out on the exterior floodlights. They're only supposed to be down lights. There's not supposed to be up lights pointing up the trees. Here again, this will be an education project, but Jeff said he would be very happy to work hand in hand with us on this project. And Molly Winston, Dr. Molly Winston, for those of y'all that know Molly, is the one that's going to be spearheading this effort. Okay, we move on to community building. And so here again, Jeff Fincher. Summer Vibes concerts. Another thing that people will ask me is, what's the value I get out of my LBCA membership? Well, we had some friends in town not too long ago. They live in one of these 50 or over communities. They're pretty young people. Anyway, you got that. So they went to a concert. It was a cover band. I said, what'd it cost? They said $40 a head. I said, really? Because at LB's on the lake, you can go to one of our concerts. And most people have like 5 people in the boat. And then 5 times 40, I think, is 200. Well, you can get a membership for $150 if it's a regular membership. That already pays for your membership, just going to one concert. So I think that's a great value. Okay, but we got lots of other things going on. We got the Summer Vibes concerts, the annual dinner, Ski Patriots, Lee Penland again, who was the founder of it back in 2009. The Wooden Boat Show and Parade. And we also have the golf tournament. We are looking to find land for what I'm calling a multi-purpose event center. That might be something more than a pavilion, I'm not sure. And then here's what I've said. Jan Saperstein, where are you, Jan? Were you here tonight? I know you had a reservation. There you are. Thank you, Jan. Jan is looking for land. Land is hard to find. And it's what I told Jan was, I'm looking for something that is better than what we've got right here. And we can have on-site parking, and we can have boat parking, but it's got to be, it even needs to be bigger than the space that we have right here. That's hard to find. Jan is doing his best. He's, I don't know, 5, 6 properties looked at, talked to, nothing yet, but we're working hard on it. Okay, tour of homes every other year. Here's the way I like to remember tour of homes. It's every other year on the even years, because we get calls every year. What time's the tour of homes this year? It's like, well, this is 2025. No, it's going to be a while. Community grants and scholarships. We do a lot with that. Robin Gunn Parker, right here. Who is also the vice president. So she's doing double duty. And of course, scholarship for Diane White. Here is where the money is going. Now, this isn't every dollar, because we donate in grants about $100,000 a year into the community just with our grants. Some people say, well, why are you getting all this money out to the community? Why don't we just keep it right here at the lake? Well, first of all, we've got a foundation that its charter calls for it to give it out to the community of 501c3s. We just can't raise money, keep it ourselves. And we want a strong Rabun County. You don't want the nicest house in the poorest county where you can't go to a restaurant because they can't have servers, because they can't afford to live or work in the county. So we want a strong Rabun County. Scholarship, Diane White. Diane, come on up. This year, Diane has outdone herself. $200,000 in scholarship.
Bring it away, Diane.
I didn't do $200,000 in scholarships. You all donated the money for these scholarships. Thank you so much. It amazes me the generosity of our community. And I quickly want the students to introduce themselves. These are some of our scholarship recipients. There were 25 students in total receiving scholarships. We have 9 here tonight, and I'm gonna hand this microphone off because Lucy will introduce herself.
Hey, my name is Lucy Harvey. I'm from Rabun County, as are all of us, and I'm going to Piedmont University to study nursing and continue my tennis career.
Hi everyone, my name is Jada Bearden and I will be going to Dalton State to study elementary education to further my career in teaching young kids. My name is JC Bearden and I will be going to Trent McConnell to study kinesiology to become a pediatric occupational therapist.
Hi, my name is, Hi, my name is Mackenzie Hutchison, and I'm going to be going to Toccoa Falls College to do counseling and ministry. Thank you all so much for your generosity.
My name is Daisy Thompson. I'm going to Georgia State University to study accounting, and I'd like to thank the LBCA for their investment in my success.
Hi everyone, my name is Sabrina Lovell and I'm so thankful I will be attending Piedmont University for accounting and I'm so thankful again. Thank you.
I'd like to thank everybody first. My name is Taquavian Hargrove, and I'm going to Reinhardt University to play football and get a degree in sports studies to become a coach. And just thank you all for all that. Thank you, everybody.
How's everybody doing tonight? Good? My name's Cameron Capello. I'm going to Georgia Southern University to study exercise science in hopes to be either a coach or a personal trainer. I just want to personally thank everybody for your generosity. I don't know what I would do without this scholarship money. It means a lot to me. And I've had a lot of fun getting to know all you guys, and I hope to know more of you going forward. Thank you all very much.
Hello, My name is D'Artagnan Chartrand. I'm attending Georgia Tech with a major in computer engineering. I'd like to thank the LCBA for allowing me the opportunity to pursue my educational dreams without such a financial burden. So, thank you.
Another round of applause for all these great students. And thank you all again. You can donate. You can donate at any time, any amount, if you just go to our website, and it's easy to get to. But again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you to all the students, and we wish you the very best and the greatest success in your college endeavors. So that takes us up to a new scholarship that was created this year, and it's the Cargo Road Memorial Scholarship, who is the son of Hal and Paige, who was tragically murdered in 2024. And our goal is to raise $70,000, and that would be a scholarship that continues in perpetuity. And the reason that we did that, first of all, Hal and Paige are such a fixture. They give so much to our community. But when I went to the memorial service for Carter, and I did not know him, but I said to Hal after the service, I wish I had known him. He was a remarkable young man. He did so much in his 33 years here on earth that I think he's a model that if everybody lived their lives like Carter, this would be such a better place. And I want people to hear that story every year so that it'll have an impact on their lives. And Hal said he's going to send out to his list for the fireworks a one-time request at some point, probably going to be in September, to help bring that funding up to $70,000. So those are LBCA's 4 principles that we're operating under. Now, I talked about all the folks that are doing double duty. We need more volunteers. And so we've got some sign-up sheets, and we have some needs that you can sign up to be a volunteer, and we'll give you a call. And we also said, what's your passion? We may not have a current position, just like with Bobby Lanier and Billy Goat Island. But if you're passionate about something, I know you're going to work hard, and you're going to be dedicated, you're going to bring other people along with you, and you're going to make it a huge success. So please sign up and help us out. LBCA Safety Day. I want to thank DNR for putting that on again for the second year. We would like to have better attendance. We've been having about 35 people. We would like more people to come to that, to learn more. I learn something new every time that I go. And it's just a great way to support DNR, to also try to help to get the word out in the community about safety. And if you have any questions about LBCA, just give Paula a call or send her an email, admin@lbca.net. Save the date, upcoming events. We have next concert, August 2nd, Magnus Cove by Billy Goat Island, August 12th, 34th Annual LBCA Golf Tournament. Laura Seaberg, the chair of that's here tonight. Talk to her.
Who is ready to party for a purpose? So you will be getting an announcement to register. We moved up the date, so it's August 12th. So we really need your support because it's a little different this year. And over by the t-shirts, there are sponsorship forms. So appreciate your support.
Thank you very much, Laura. Okay, Elvis and Friends, that's going to be our Labor Day concert. And of course, there's going to be fireworks from Howell Road. Sunset Social, September 20th. More information to come on that. And then next year, which is a even year, guess what we're having? Tour homes, okay. Thank you all so much. All the volunteers, Andrea Sorgelus, please come up. Give Andrea a big hand for putting all of this on.
Thank you, Dan. First of all, a few more thank yous. Paula Jones and the whole LBCA board, we thank you for all of your work that you do year after year for this event. I also would like to thank Lisa Fletcher for help with registration. and our beloved dockhand, Lee Punland, for his help down at the dock. A huge thank you to all of our volunteers who helped make this event possible, everyone who came this morning for setup, the volunteers during the event, and if any of you feel really motivated this evening, please stay behind and help us clean up. That would be amazing. And all of the decor this year, all of the florals and decor is from Ephemera Design Concepts. So Katie Smith and Telly Aker, we thank them for all of this gorgeous decor this year. And last but not least, Jamie Allred and Kelsey McCracken of Holden Oversoul Kitchen and Oyster Bar. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You have done this event for 4 years and counting, and we really appreciate everything you do. The food is going to be amazing. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, and for all of your volunteers that put this on tonight and did such a beautiful job.